lovely wishes. It's Holly. Welcome to Dandelion Stitches. Happy Monday. How is everybody? If you're new, I do a video on Mondays that's usually in some way quilting, sewing related. And the rest of the week is either box openings or random fun. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you stay, like, subscribe. All of you OGs, super big hugs. I hope you're all awesome. So many of you asked to see my quilts, the things that I have made. So that's what today's video is. Before I show them to you, let me just say, I have not been quilting for a very long time, only a couple of years. I have known how to sew since I was young enough to sit at a sewing machine. So old enough to sit at a sewing machine, my mother taught me early how to sew. But quilting was a whole other thing, and it was something my sister did. And I didn't really want to like get all up in her thing. Like, I didn't want there to be competition. Well, as it turns out, there's no chance for that. Because she's like in the heavens and I am crawling along the little rocky shore. But that's okay, because it makes me happy. So, excuse me, geez. Hang on. Okay. I swear some goblinish stuff has taken up residence forever in my bronchial. Anyway, so I quilted them all myself. For one, because I could, and because I haven't felt like I've made anything yet that is amazing enough that it should go off to a long arm quilter and become something even more amazing. But someday I will do that. But right now I'm pretty content with doing it myself. I've been kind of learning how to free motion. Don't use that very much, but I'm good with that. So keep that in mind. And lastly, I really didn't pick up my house much, and yeah, there's going to be some times when you're looking at a quilt going, what is that yet one more millionth dog toy laying there? Or you know. So without further ado, let's look at some quilts. So this is quilt number 1. It hangs in the hallway. It's got a million problems. It's a super big hot mess. But the quilt shop that sort of ignited quilting for me was having a contest. And you had to make a quilt, and it had to be half square triangles. And I just got the bright idea that I didn't need a pattern, and that I wanted it to be all of grunge, and that I wanted it to look like a nebula. I know. So I just got out a piece of graph paper and I just started doing what I thought I wanted to do to make it look like a nebula. So like an exploding star in the sky, a gas nebula. And you know what? I don't hate it. It's like I said, it's got a million problems, and the way that I chose to lay the colors out, my sister tried. She was like, I'm not sure, but I really like it. It's bright and it's happy, and I did it by myself. So that's quilt number 1. This quilt hangs in our living room on a wall that is a chalkboard wall, but it's kind of served its purpose. My grandkids spent a lot of time on it. We've changed things around, but anyway, it was a quilt along, again, with the quilt shop that got me going. And she had made up kits, and you could pick colorways, and this is where I learned that a black background is the way for me. I love that dark background popping against those bright colors. So, and people who asked about the puppy, there she is, taking up the entire couch. Okay, this is the dining room quilt. This was all about the fabric. This was Eden. When I found this fabric, I lost my mind. And I just had to make, like, everything out of it. So I was really looking for a pattern that showcased the fabric, and this is what I came up with. I'm still not crazy about white backgrounds, but it works in this particular instance. Trying to get closer without getting you car sick. See, this fabric is just, it's just cool. That's all I can say. So I hardly quilted it at all. And it's kind of more for spring, summer, so it'll be coming down pretty soon. But that is the Eden quilt in the dining room. So this doesn't really fall into the quilt category, but this is what I look at when I'm sitting at my sewing machine. There's my will not die brother. My Juki's still sick. Nobody seems to be able to fix it. I think I'm going to send it to Florida. Well, that's a whole other story. But I was crazy about this Eden fabric, and again with the foundation paper piecing, I couldn't stop, and so I made these squares to hang behind my sewing machine. I just made squares and then I framed them with cheap Amazon frames, and it makes me happy to sit and look at them. That fabric. Boy. It's funny when we did the video with my sister and she was pattern first and fabric as a means to an end, and I am all about the fabric. It's cool that we're different like that. So this is the Marcia Durst quilt. This might have been the third quilt maybe I ever made. Marcia Durst has a sister who is also very artsy, and she's got an Etsy shop. And I don't even know how I discovered her, but she takes some of Marcia's fabrics and she overdyes them and does some kind of cool things with them. So there's some pieces in here that are Marcia's sister's work, and everything else is just straight up Marcia's work. So all I did was 5-inch squares, I think, and sewed them all together. And then I just quilted it in a grid, and it's got Minky on the back. So it's probably like crib size, but it's really nice for over your lap, you know, when it's chilly out, or I don't know. This one just makes me happy. I wish I could remember the name of the pattern I used for this one. I'll go back and look. I think I might have it in a video and then I'll put it in the description box. But last year when we went to Minnesota, I think we went in November, and we stopped in a quilt shop in Duluth, and I found this fat quarter bundle of this really neat woodland, completely in my head North Woods bundle, fat quarter bundle. And so I grabbed it up and came home, and then I went online and got some yardage to do the borders. And it is also backed with Minky. I love backing quilts with Minky. The ones that you're going to snuggle up with on the couch. Makes them all soft and nice. So that one's probably twin sized. I don't know. I don't pay much attention. I just put it all together and I like it. So that is, and then this is the most recent one. This is the Autumn Spice quilt. Whoops, sorry. That was the name of the pattern, and it's completely scrappy. I just dug through all of my scraps. The border is some of the Rachel Hauer Forest Floor. It's got dandelions on it. It's a mess too. It's half the time the points don't match, but I still am very happy with it. trying to think what I did on the back. Hang on. Oh, just black. Just black on the back. I think I put a... Yeah, I did like a stripe up the back. So, whoops, sorry. So that is about it for the quilts. And then this is the most recent one. This is the Autumn Spice quilt. Whoops, sorry. That was the name of the pattern, and it's completely scrappy. I just dug through all of my scraps. The border is some of the Rachel Hauer Forest Floor. It's got dandelions on it. It's a mess too. It's half the time the points don't match, but I still am very happy with it. I'm trying to think what I did on the back. Hang on. Oh, just black. Just black on the back. I think I put a... Yeah, I did like a stripe up the back. So, whoops, sorry. So this was the quilt. This is the accidental quilt. It hangs on the wall in my office. I was all about foundation paper piecing, and I wanted to do a log cabin. So I was digging through my 2.5 inch strips, had a jelly roll of this particular fabric. And I knew that it wasn't going to be exactly the contrast that I wanted it to be, but I was just learning and playing around, and you know, it didn't really matter. So I ended up with like, I don't know, 10 squares and went, oh, I think I've almost got a quilt. So I went ahead and used up the whole bundle and made all of the log cabin squares, and then I just sewed them all together. It is not, I mean, I really do like it, but it isn't the kind of, I would want my log cabin quilt to be scrappier and have way more dark light. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Honestly, it was the quilt that wanted to be made. That's all I can say. It was not my intention, but that's just what happened. I don't remember the name of the fabric, but it's got like moths and butterflies and stages of the moon and owls and oak leaves and ferns, and it's beautiful fabric. Just maybe not for this particular project, but it wanted to be a quilt, so it's a quilt, and there it hangs. So that's it, aside from the table runners. And if you want another video of the table runners, just say so. There are there's a lot of table runners. I only have one table. It's not really all that big. So I switch them out with some regularity. My husband laughs, it's fine. We're all good. So next Monday's video is going to be the Q&A. So if you've got questions, put them in the comments. I will usually tell you if you ask a question that I've added your question to the list. So if you don't get that response from me, hit me up again, because sometimes I'm sleeping on the switch there, and I need to be reminded. So that will be next Monday's video. We've got some boxes to do for the rest of the week. So be well, be safe, and I will see you probably tomorrow. Bye.